grab the worksheet that you need for our class today. The warm-up is helpful for many reasons. Finger dexterity, sense of timing. It's nice to do it with the metronome. It puts that pressure on you to actually move in time because, you know, when we first start, a lot of us just take our time getting between each note. We go back and repeat notes. But let's do this. I'm gonna turn my metronome on. All right, so spider fingers, here we go. I'm gonna stop here. If you found that easy, you can go to the next level of spider fingers, which is sliding your whole hand up from first position to second position to come down. So now we're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1. So going up to come down, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going up. I'm off beat 1 if anyone noticed. But I figured it'd be better to stay in time. That's beat 1 where the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes you'll miss it. 1 is not too bad for 9 a.m. Yeah, we're really doing it. All the way up. That's the warm-up. Make sure that you can do that all the way up the guitar neck, keeping nice steady tempo, playing accurately, getting a nice sound out of all the notes. That's gonna help you a lot when it comes to actually being able to move your fingers around fast enough for a guitar solo. If that was too easy for you, you can do eighth notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And if that's too easy, 16th notes. Slow is always nice when you first get started, so take your time. Let's get into it. The warm-up can take as long as you want it to. Your whole practice can be a warm-up. Hopefully you've grabbed the worksheet because we're gonna talk about some steps for how to start practicing improvising. I think this is a really good way also to really understand why we need to learn major scales, or why we even learn scales, or why we even learn theory at all. And it's because we need to know how to put some pieces of the puzzle together faster. I mean, I guess you can, if you got a really good ear and you got lots and lots and lots of time to learn by ear, that could work for you. But for me, I like knowing a little bit of theory. It helps me learn things a bit faster, or learn concepts faster, so that then I could just play. The first thing we have to do is find out what key our song that we want to solo over is. So the key of the song is going to tell us what scale we can use, and the scale is going to tell us what notes we have available to us in our guitar solo. In the improvisation worksheet, I just made up a really simple chord progression. It's in the key of G, and it'll go like this. fingers, you know your chord progression of your song. You could make up something else in the key of G if you like. But what I would do now is grab this chord progression from the improvisation track, and then let's make ourselves a backing track. This is really good practice if you do it yourself for your own playing, because again, it's gonna force you to play in time. So I'm gonna hit, I've got this drum track thing. So I'm gonna play once through and record myself. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's see how it sounds. 3, 4. Yep, it works. Okay, cool. So off to the side, I recorded my backing track of myself on my phone so I could practice my own soloing over myself playing. Studio magic. I've got a speaker here. Probably sounds a little bit boomy in here, but you know, haven't put the sound treatment up in the studio yet. So hey, if you like what you're hearing today, download my worksheets, send me a note, let me know I'm doing a good job so I keep going and get that sound treatment that I've been dreaming of. We know our key, we know our chord progression. Let's talk about notes. We're gonna use a G major scale over this chord progression. Knowing what scales to use over what chord progressions is kind of a whole other discussion. A lot of people like to go to the pentatonic scales because there are more possibilities if you limit yourself to less notes, if that makes sense. So a major scale has 8 notes in it, 7 notes and the octave, and a pentatonic scale only has 5 notes and the octave. You're able to fit into more scenarios if you use less notes. So I think that's why the pentatonic scale is slightly easier to learn how to solo on. I like the major scales to get started with because we can get familiar with how it sounds. If you're looking at my worksheet, we've got the G major scale on the top 3 strings of the guitar. Again, it's easier to get started with if you limit yourself to less notes, right? So we're just gonna do 1 octave of the major scale, G, looking at the tab and playing the G major scale. That is maybe where you're going to stop today. Or actually maybe playing the chords is where you were going to stop today. Or maybe the warm-up was where you would have to stop today. But remember, it takes a long time to learn everything you want to learn on guitar. So just put this in your back pocket if you have to pause, focus on the G major scale, and then come back to it. You can also have the worksheet and just follow along with that, so you're all good. We've got the G major scale. Now I'm gonna play my G major scale going up, meaning and going down over my track. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're just getting used to how the notes of the scale, the individual notes, sound over a chord progression. You can do that as many times as you need. Now, what we're going to do is find the notes that are the root of each chord and then play those over the chord progression. So my chord progression is G, G, C, C, G, G, D, G. What I'm going to do is play just those notes. So if you've been playing music, you might know that a chord is always named after a single note. A chord is built on top of a note, kind of like your house is built at your address. A chord is built on a tone. My root note is the name of the chord. My root note G, my root note C, and my root note D. So whenever I am playing the G chord, past me is playing the G chord, current me will be playing the note G. In the G major scale, the note G is the open 3rd string. I'll tell you what they are. You can try to remember them. If you're hip, you can just figure it out on your own. The notes are G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. This is where knowing a little bit of theory in the musical alphabet really comes in handy. G is open 3rd string. D is the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. C is the first fret of the second string. It goes G is third string. Everyone should know that because it's an open string. Don't forget it. G, open string. C, first fret of second string. D, third fret of second string. If I were to play it without the chords, I'd play G, 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 C, 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 G, 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 D, D, G, G. And remember, this is improvisation, so you can fool around with the rhythm of how you're playing it. You don't have to do it exactly like how I'm playing it. You just have to find those notes and arrive at them when the chord changes. We're establishing a tonal center. We're establishing a root for our guitar solo. We're also establishing that we can hear when the chords are changing in our song. Maybe if you made your own backing track, you're finding that your chords are not changing in time and you need to work on that. I'll give it a try for us.
1, 2,
starting with G.
3, 4.
So you've made it that far. Now we're gonna try just adding the root note and then any random note in that scale. In between. Let's see if I can invent something. So we've got G, A, G, C, G, A, G, A, D. So we've got the root note and then any note in between. And remember, you're improvising, so don't be afraid. Am I afraid? Yes, but you shouldn't be because you're not in front of everybody.
2, 3, 4.
Nice and easy. Hopefully that made sense. Landing back on that root note. So that's why it's so important to get that root note thing nailed, knowing where you are. A great musician always knows where they are in a song. That is my little practice for how to improvise guitar solos. Very simply, get started, do it in every key that you can think of. Once you get that G major scale, you can try something in C, then try something in A minor, D minor, and then eventually F, one of these bar chord things. This is great because you get practice learning your chord progressions for each scale, learning the notes available in each key for your solos, and then establishing tonal center for your guitar solos. I'm on a journey as well. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. If you like what you've been learning, give me a follow, give me a share, download the worksheet, sign up for a class, become a member, and that'll help me keep going forever. Have fun playing, and I'll see you next time.